Hello and welcome back to my road to completion guide for Metro Exodus. We're now in episode 15 and this is chapter 3. Obviously guys, I'm going to be cutting out the train sequences. You guys know those transition chapters where nothing's really happening, just dialogue with the crew. And of course you just interact with the map on the train to go to the next chapter. I'm just going to be cutting those out because there's nothing in there that can kill you, no combat sequences or anything like that. Obviously the gameplay you're seeing now, we've already went to the church. I pointed to that when I was aiming down sight with my gun. Anytime you guys get lost in terms of navigation, just check your map. Look for the white circle with the white X in the center. You guys will know exactly where I am, but I do try to show it in the gameplay. I'm trying to show you guys as much as possible with the navigation. Now notice what I did right there. I pointed to the guy on the other side of the steps to my right to show you that there was an enemy over there. You do not want to shoot the enemy that I'm about to shoot now. You don't want to shoot him first before you kill the guy that's behind me. You want to make sure that you kill him first. And again, you want to make sure, guys, that you are killing the enemies triangle, not square. We want to be killing as many people in this playthrough as we possibly can, especially in these combat sequences where karma can change. You guys know that in the first playthrough, we wanted to get the good ending, right? So we were going through knocking people out, being very nice to people, freeing prisoners and slaves and stuff like that. This time around, we want to be ruthless, okay? We want to kill everybody we come in contact with. Do not hit the square prompt, hit that triangle prompt. Make sure you're knifing people. We want to get people really upset at us. We want to kill them all. And then eventually they will surrender. That's really what you're looking for. Like even in this combat situation here, notice I have the dominant position up here on this platform. I get great angles on all the enemies, and all I'm trying to do is pick them off one by one until I hear them surrender. So as you shoot enemies, you want to be patient, right? You want to kill an enemy and then wait to see if anybody surrenders. Does that make sense? Because you want to kill some people in the surrender state, because that's going to be the thing that adjusts your karma. And the reason why I'm putting so much emphasis on this is sometimes with this game, and I'm not really sure what causes it, you will end up killing everybody in the combat area and they will not surrender. And I still to this day do not know what causes that. So what you're going to want to do here, guys, is kill everybody in this area real patiently, right? If it gets down to the last few guys and they still have not surrendered, you just want to go back to your previous checkpoint. Does that make sense? And replay it. Replay this combat situation until you can get these guys to surrender. I think in this clip, I end up killing 3 guys that were in the surrendered state. So if you want to follow the guide, you know, to the T, then that's what you want to do. And we'll count the number of people that I kill. It's been a few weeks since I've, you know, played this game and you know, got this clip recorded. Notice that dude's leg twitching. So funny. I'm trying to do commentary, but I'm focused on that dude's leg twitching. So, but I'm pretty sure that I end up killing 3 people here. And that's definitely what you guys want. Now, if for whatever reason you can't get 3 kills here, there will be an opportunity for you guys to adjust some karma later on in this chapter. Remember, we want our karma to be bad because we want to get the worst ending you can possibly get in the game. Remember, there's 2 endings to the game. We got the good ending on the first playthrough. Now we want to get the bad ending, which means we don't want our teammates to join our crew. We don't want them to keep coming with us on the train. We want to lose them in the gameplay, right? In the story sequences. So that means we have to go against their wishes. If they say to free slaves, we want to kill slaves, right? So forth and so on. If they say free the hostages or, you know, don't hurt the hostages, we want to kill the hostages. So there's still going to be opportunities for you guys to adjust karma. But like I said, if you want to stick with the gameplay and stay in pace with me, I'm pretty sure that I killed 3 guys. See how they're surrendered right here? Now I want you to notice when I shoot these enemies, notice the screen. You'll get like a yellow, see that little yellow flash or whatever? See that? That's exactly what you guys want when you kill these enemies. Notice here, see that? Little yellow flash, it kind of turns gray there at the end. That's what you want. So that was 2 kills right there. And like I said, if you can't get 2 kills here, if the game is not wanting to play ball in this particular combat sequence, then I will show you guys later on where you can get some more bad karma. But if at all possible, I think that's my 3rd one. Yep, so that's number 3. And then I think I hit the boat and we exit. So like I said, if you want to get 3 kills here, that will be great. You may have to restart your checkpoint a few times, get these guys to surrender. But up there on that top platform is a really good position because you can shoot through the cracks in the boards, right? And the hand railing and the boards you're standing on, it's a really good power position for this combat sequence. Because if you go downstairs, you start trying to fight them down there, they're going to have the high ground on you. They're going to be coming in from all the different doorways and stuff like that. They're going to have some crazy angles on you guys, and we don't want that. So make sure you stay up there, and you'll be good to go. Now, of course, you're going to go through the boat sequence. You're going to get saved, and then, of course, you're going to run over here to the train. You don't actually have to stop and talk to Miller. You can bypass that. I think I mentioned that in the first playthrough, that I wasn't sure if you had to stop and hear his dialogue in order to progress to the crane sequence, but you don't. Notice that I'm just passing through there. Save you guys some time. We'll come over here and cross the train bridge and we'll head toward the crane and meet up with Crest, okay? And I think I'm gonna do some time lapse in here. Again, if you guys get lost, just check your map, okay? You will see the white circle with the white X on it. We're just heading over here toward the big crane off in the distance. You can actually see the crane from your train, right? So like when we started this chapter, from the train we went to the left, right, toward the church. But if you go back to the train and you look to the right, you will see the crane. And remember this quick time event here. Let's make sure that you guys are spamming square. Okay, and once that sequence is over, again, we're just heading to the crane. No need to stop off anywhere. I think in the first playthrough, we had to stop off here and grab a collectible and then get some resources because we had to craft some Molotovs for another trophy. But now we just want to continue right up the ladder. Now remember, the strategy here from the first playthrough, you're going to get up here on the rooftop. It's going to initiate the sequence with Crest. And you're going to have to hold these enemies off for a few minutes while he drops the crane. He will be shooting some of the enemies for you. In fact, eventually he will end up shooting them all if you don't shoot any of them. But I wouldn't waste your ammo, guys, just like we did in the first playthrough. Just let these enemies spawn in, and then you just want to run around this area in a square. If you guys have ever played Call of Duty Zombies, or you've watched somebody play Call of Duty Zombies, that's all you're doing at this point, guys. Are just getting these enemies to bunch up behind you, and then as you go around this area in a square, they're just following you. See what I mean? Just like a skating rink, right? Round and around and around. And you just want to buy yourself enough time until he drops the crane. You'll notice that the environment starts to change. Like you see that right there, the sun starts to come out. It's just kind of a time sequence, guys. And you'll know when he drops the crane because we'll start talking to you guys again. And then, of course, you will see the crane drop. Normally, it will kill one of the enemies as it's climbing up that ramp. And then you guys can exit. And like I said, it doesn't matter how many enemies are there. Of course, I'm time-lapsing this. And like I said, you can shoot them if you want to. But, again, you don't know how much ammo you got. You see I shot that one right there. You don't know how much ammo you have, right? So there's really no need to shoot them unless they just get in your way. And it comes down to you living or dying, right? Then you want to shoot them. Like right then, I shot that guy or shot that enemy, because I was kind of pincered in. That was one on my left as well. Just make sure you're keeping account of where they are, running around and buying yourself enough time. I'm showing you here during this dialogue sequence with Crest, there's going to be some resources in that locker to the left of the workbench. There's also going to be some resources down here. I think I show this. Yeah, in this lockbox right here. See that? You guys want to grab yourself some resources. Quite a bit in there. Again, you can't see how much you get when you grab a resource, but you can go straight to your backpack and look in the top left-hand side of the screen, and you can get an idea of how much you got. So I just showed you there that I think I had 12 chemicals, and I don't know how many parts I had. I didn't catch that, but you'll notice that as you're looting stuff in this game, in this playthrough, you'll probably loot a bunch of stuff, guys, right? And then you'll go into your backpack and you'll be like, dang, I only got 50 chemicals. I've been looting forever. That's just how it is. I mean, a lot of times when you loot stuff, it feels like you're getting a bunch of stuff, but you might only be getting like 2 parts, 2 chemicals, you know, maybe 3 bullets. So, you know, that's just a part of this game, but that's why we're going to be speed running a lot of it, skipping a lot of the combat situations when we don't need to get into firefights because we don't know how much ammo we have. We can just skip it, right? And then we don't have to worry about that at all, right? Take away that mechanic completely. Now we're going to run and catch up with Anna. Remember, she's going to be in that hole. I think I point to it here. Yeah. Remember there's an area over here where there's a tree with a flag on it. she's underneath that. She's fallen down into a hole. Now, before we go into that hole, I'm gonna show you guys. Again, I'm time-lapsing this a bit here. Let's see. Here's the flag right here. You see it waving on the tree? She's underneath that. And I think in the first playthrough, we went straight there, dove in the hole and saved her. But now we want to go into this area because we can pick up some more resources. If you guys need a workbench for whatever reason, you shouldn't. But if you want one, there's one in this area. There's some more chemicals. Again, it's not going to be much, but every little bit helps in this playthrough. Okay, there's another gun for you. I really like that gun. I think I switch here, yeah. So you guys make sure you're using the gun that you feel most comfortable with. I like these revolvers, the shotguns and stuff like that. So anytime I get a chance to pick those up over the automatic weapons, I will always do that. I think they're just beasts. They work at long range and short range, so they're pretty good. Notice the resources over here on the wall. I don't think we picked those up in the first playthrough. And now we're just going to go through this area, make sure that we free her. And there's some more resources. When I first came into this room and I took that first right, there was some more resources in that. There's like a small jail cell or whatever to the right. It's where we got one of our collectibles in the first playthrough. I think there's some resources in there. And of course, you guys can go through and pick up all these chemicals on the wall if you want to, these little plants. I tend to not really focus on those. I'm looking for the big stashes, like the lock boxes, lockers and stuff like that. They tend to have more stuff in them. But you guys can go around here and meticulously get those chemicals off the plants if you guys want to. All right, guys, now that she's free, you can head out the double doors, take your mask off. We're going to run back to the train again. I'm going to be time-lapsing some of this for you guys. We're going to run back to the train. This time we do want to talk to our crew, well, at least to Crest and Miller, because we need to get the part for the train car or the trolley. You guys remember we do have to go and hook up the trolley to the train cars and bring them back to our train. So we definitely want to come in here and talk to them. Get that part that we need. Go ahead and pick up this gun as well. Okay, just for some added firepower, just in case you guys need it. You're probably not going to need it for, I'm just thinking ahead here. You're probably not going to need it for this chapter, but you'll definitely need it for the next chapter, or I guess chapter 5. I don't know if the game gives it to you automatically or not, that gun. I'm assuming it would, but I've never actually tested it. I've always picked it up in this chapter, and then I've had it in chapter 5. I think it's probably going to be a default gun in chapter 5, but you may want to pick it up here even if you don't plan on using it in this chapter, just to make sure you guys have some ammo or some firepower when it comes to chapter 5. Because to be honest with you guys, I thought chapter 5 was going to be the run killer, not for myself, because like I knew if I put in enough time I could get it down, but coming up with strategies to get through it, because there's so many enemies, especially in chapter 5 when you first start out and you have that that firefight when you're in the bottom of that silo and everybody's coming at you. But I figured it out, and it's a really smooth strategy to get you guys through it. Notice here we're just hooking up with Duke, checking him out, seeing what's going on in his neck of the woods, just to make sure we get that quest line started. Remember, we do not want Duke, there's some resources by the way, we do not want Duke to board the train with us at the end of this chapter. In the first playthrough, because we had good karma, he boarded the train with us, right? In this playthrough, we want to have bad karma. And when that happens, he is not going to board the train with us. In fact, he is going to get shot. And when he gets shot, it's of course going to allow us to board the train by ourselves or jump to the train. You know, it's moving. We have to escape that area, that bridge area. And that's going to allow us to get the bad ending. Now, notice what I'm doing here. I'm showing you that there's the facility over there where we're eventually going to go. Actually, I don't know if we go to that facility or not. I know in the first playthrough we went over there in that facility and freed some slaves. I can't remember if I do it in this gameplay, but I mainly just showed you that for reference to give you an idea of where we're going, because we do want to pick up a couple of suit upgrades. And to be honest, after playing this, you really don't need them. But I would pick them up just to be safe. I thought, you know what, out of all the suit upgrades, we're probably going to need the filters, you know, so we can have extended time on our filters. We're probably going to need the ability to carry more stuff, right? But it turns out after playing this, I really didn't need that at all. I'm just giving you some more frame of reference here. There's going to be some enemies. Again, don't worry about killing them unless they just get in your way and it's life or death, then shoot them. But you just want to speed run through that, grab the item that's in here. There's some resources in here as well. There's the item I'm talking about, the suit upgrade. Get yourself some more filters. That will extend your filters. Resources. Now remember, when you exit this door, a lot of times there'll be an enemy that's right in front of you, okay? You're gonna wanna open up this door and then jet as fast as possible. You wanna make it back to where you met up with Duke. I don't think it was in my game. I don't hear any audio right now. I have to do commentary, post commentary without game audio because I just can't concentrate. It's weird, right? Because when I do live commentary, which I prefer to do, the game audio doesn't bother me as much, although I do have to listen to the audio only out of one ear. I cannot listen to it out of both ears and do live commentary. So a lot of times when I'm doing live commentary, if you guys could see how I look, I have headphones on obviously, and my let's see, my left ear muff is on my ear and the other one is wrapped around the back of my head so I can hear out of my right ear. It's kind of crazy looking, but I've always been that way. I cannot do live commentary if the game audio is in both my ears. I get too distracted. And I think right here I'm just showing you, yeah, go ahead and equip that extended filter, get that knocked out while you have a workbench here. Remember, the workbenches in this playthrough in Ranger Hardcore are not as plentiful as they were in the first playthrough of the game. So anytime you find a workbench and you got something that you need to do, don't assume that you know where the next workbench is going to be. I'm just showing you where we're going next. Remember, that's where the train cars are. Because the second you think, oh yeah, there's a workbench over there because you played it on a different difficulty, right? By the time you run over there, maybe you expend some resources along the way, shoot some enemies, waste some ammo. Then you get over there, that workbench is not going to be accessible to you guys because in Ranger Hardcore, they don't have as many workbenches in the game. So you have to keep that in mind. Anytime you know where a workbench is, make sure that you guys utilize it, take advantage. Notice what I'm doing here, I'm kind of skipping over the area to my left. There's some enemies in there. If you take kind of a wide turn, you can just bypass all of them. Not to worry about it. I think in the first playthrough, we ended up going in there because there's a suit upgrade. There was also some attachments that we wanted, or modifications for our gun that we needed to pick up for that trophy. But this time around, we just skipping all that, guys. Notice what I'm doing here. The objective is behind me. All right, I guess now it's gonna be, yeah, I'm showing you back there. Just follow the train tracks. That's where we're trying to go eventually. All right, I'm just showing you the train tracks leading to it. But again, there's gonna be a place here to our right that we can rest. You can change the time of day, do all that good stuff. There's also a few resources in here for you guys as well. In the easy difficulty playthrough, it really didn't matter, man, if it was daytime, nighttime. You know, we just went in there and did our thing. But in this playthrough, in Ranger Hardcore, when it's time to be stealthy, you definitely want to make sure that the game knows it's time to be stealthy. The game knows it's time for you to go in there and be a little ninja, right? So you definitely want to make sure that you've got the daytime, nighttime cycle, you know, playing up to your advantage. Let the game know, hey, I'm gonna change the time of day. I don't want these enemies to see me, and make sure that it takes account of that, right? Now watch this. We're just gonna ease through here, taking this left path. I think I do pick up the chemicals here because they're just right on the way. And you're gonna have to sneak through here slowly anyway, so why not pick them up? See that? You can drop down to the right, go back inside this next train. All the enemies and stuff are to my right. I'm trying to get the brightness turned up so you guys can see. I know it's super dark. We're just pretty much going in a straight line. All the enemies are to our right. There's going to be an enemy coming up here. If you keep going straight, I think I show you this guy. If you go, let's see, do I show it to him? Yeah, he's right there. I guess what I'm saying is it's not that if you keep going fast, because you can't really go fast when you're crouched like I'm crouched now. You just want to stay at a steady pace. You don't want to stop, right? So as soon as you come out of that place where we rested and you start going through the trains, just go, guys. Don't stop, because everything's on a timer, right? And if you keep going and you don't stop, and of course you can pick up those chemicals if you want to, that guy that I pointed to will not see you. And he still won't see you even if you're a little bit slower, but you may have to wait for him to turn around, right? If you want to keep that a bit more streamlined, that's how you would do it. Wait for this guy to turn around before you climb the ladder and then take him out, right? Again, you want to make sure that you're, I think right there I actually knocked him out. I should have killed him. Make sure you kill him. I think I hit square there because I think normally you break their neck. I didn't hear the sound effect. It may have actually killed him, but you definitely want to make sure that you're hitting triangle. Turn out all these lights. There's going to be one dude right in there. He always will walk to the left. So if you hang tight right here, give it a few seconds, he will walk to the left and then jump off the platform, right? When he does, you can make your way to the switch. Remember, we're trying to open up the gate to this facility so that we can eventually back the trolley up over here and grab those train cars. See how he always moves that way. And as long as you don't interact with that guy, then none of the other people in here will know that you're even up here until you pull this switch. Of course, when you pull the switch and the gate opens, everybody knows where you are, right? But we'll get out of here real quick. There's some resources to my left as well. I think I pick them up. Yeah, you guys want to pick those up. We'll drop down here. Now notice the angle I have right here. I'm over the enemy. They can't see me. And then I'm pressed up. I've got my back pressed up against this wall. So the people across the way on the bridge and in the other train cars, they will not be able to see me. And all I'm doing is listening and waiting for a good opportunity to drop down, jump over the wall, and get out of here. I'm not trying to kill anybody. I'm not trying to worry about anything. Just trying to get out of here without them. I guess they can notice you, but you know, if they notice you, they're probably going to start shooting you, and then, you know, you're going to take some damage. So obviously the best play here is to not get noticed at all. But if they start noticing you guys, just make a straight line for this wall, jump over it, and get out of here. Okay. That's what I'm doing there. You can jump over that wall. You're good. Now we're going to run straight. And I think I go back to the little outpost there and sleep again, because at nighttime, you guys know those. Well, I don't know. Some of you may not know this because I think in the first playthrough, we did everything in the, oh yeah, you see it straight ahead. The lightning enemy or the electricity enemy, those little boogers are crazy, man. They will, they're crazy. I don't know. I've never even tried to kill them. I don't even know if you can kill them. I'm like I said, most of the stuff I try to do in this game, I do during the daytime so you guys can see. But they're quite annoying, and they can still damage you even when you're in the trolley. Like if we were to leave at nighttime now, we were to go over there and get the trolley and come back, and they just happen to be around the train tracks, they could still damage you while you're in the trolley. I've taken damage before that way. So it kind of sucks, right? We want to make sure that it's daytime again. Change that daytime, nighttime cycle. Let the game know, hey, take all those crazy enemies and put them away for a while. Change it up. I'm going to change my brightness there for you guys so you can see a little bit better. And now we're just going to follow the train tracks. And I don't know if I time lapse this or not. I'm trying to look in my timeline here because we're about, looks like we're about halfway through this video, give or take. Yeah, we're going to pull the switch. Remember, now you don't have to do this now because when you bring the trolley through here, if you haven't pulled the switch, then you're going to have to get out and pull it anyway. But I'll go ahead and pull it now. That way I can just back the trolley up, go all the way, pick up the cars, and then bolt. So you guys can pull it on the way. That's the best way to do it. We'll come up here, get inside the boat. And I'm pretty sure that we go straight into the facility where the catfish is. I don't think we deviate here. In the first playthrough, we took a left and went and got some collectibles. Yeah, we're going straight into the facility. And I think I just time lapses here. Yep. I try to leave as much navigation in here as possible because I know that even though some of you guys have went through the game on your first playthrough, you may not remember exactly every little step you did, right? Every place you went, because I never went into a map. I went straight there. So I like to leave as much navigation in as possible. I think if this were a linear game like Uncharted or something like that, I would just put in the combat sequences because there's only one way that you can go. And I think I've done that in the past. But with a game like this, I do like to leave in as much navigation as possible. Notice that I'm just picking up a few chemicals. I think I pick up all the chemicals until the enemy spawn in, and then I just run. Okay, you hear them, just start running. Gonna go all the way down to the end, bust a U-turn, go up, and then you see the switch right there. If you guys pull that switch really fast, then you can actually cross this bridge sequence and they won't bother you. See how they're coming right there? Just boom, just jump, take a left, take a right, up the double steps there, and then boom. This is the sequence where you're crossing this catwalk and the catfish is gonna come out, little cutscene here. Like that. I'm gonna of course skip that for you guys. When you get to the other side, you can actually come down here, put your mask on. You don't really have to put your mask on here, but you know, you can if you want to. Lots of resources there. And then of course check the body. And then there's a knife laying on the floor too. We really don't use knives in this game, throwing knives. I think there was only one time we used them in the first playthrough, and that was when we were trying to free some slaves. And I don't think in this playthrough we use them at all. But you know, if you want to pick them up, if you like the throwing knives and stuff like that, you guys can pick that up off that body. Notice I'm just following the lay of the land here. Remember, we're trying to get to the other side of this facility, and it's gonna make us take the long way around because we got to get the trolley. And this time we don't have to worry about killing the catfish. You'll just pull the switch. You don't have to put all the bait in the water and all that kind of stuff. Just pull the switch and it will release the debris or whatever that's blocking the train car, and then we can just get out, or the trolley, and then we can get out of here. Notice what I'm doing here. I'm trying to get these plants to explode so that they can release all their gas or whatever. And then I want to get the resources off the dead body. If you get close enough and you back away, they'll release their poison or whatever. Boom, we can loot that body. And then there's another, I'm trying to remember. Yeah, there's a knife to my left. There's a lockbox here and a dead body that you guys can loot. Then we'll hit the ladder. And then we're just gonna run around the perimeter of the building, okay? All the way around, and that'll take us to the trolley. There'll be some enemies, but you don't have to worry about them unless they get in your way or box you guys in. There'll be some enemies up here on this catwalk, but remember, if you stay still, the catfish will come out and kill them for you. See what I'm doing there? I'm just pointing to them. See that? Takes them out for you. Grab some chemicals. Head up the ladder. And now we're just gonna run, okay? All the way down to the end, take a right, then go all the way down to the tunnel, okay? I think I'm gonna grab a few chemicals on the way, why not? Here we go, just gonna run straight, slight right, left, all the way down to the tunnel, and then we'll be ready to get the trolley. All right, guys, there's a few things that we want to do before we get the trolley, okay? Obviously, you want to pick up some chemicals here, but the main thing is getting the night vision goggles. You guys know we've already picked up one suit upgrade in this chapter, the extended filters. Again, we're not going for all the suit upgrades. You guys already have that trophy, but there are a few that I think is going to benefit some of you guys, although, like I said in the previous part of this commentary, really not necessary now that I've played through. But definitely when I was planning this, I was like, you know what, we're probably going to need a few things. So we want to make sure that we get the night vision goggles. You guys remember in the first playthrough, we saved some slaves, freed some slaves, and then they gave us a key. The door to my right in the gameplay is the door that we came in to get the night vision goggles the first time. This is the alternate way to get the night vision goggles without the key. There's actually two ways to get these in the game. We chose the key the first time, and now we just come through the back door, no problem, don't need the key. Pick up some chemicals. There's no chemicals on this side. I thought there would be, but there's not. But I do want to show you guys some resources here to the right of this doorway, I should say. Boom, right there. I don't think we picked those up on the first playthrough. And now we're going to go ahead and release the switch, drop the debris. Remember, if you don't have your catfish trophy, some of you guys might not have got it on your first playthrough. Maybe you were saving it for this playthrough. Make sure that you pick it up now. But if you follow the guide, you should all have that trophy by now. Rotate this wheel, open up the bay door. And now we just want to do the same thing that we did on the first playthrough. We want to back this trolley up, down the tracks, right? Make it all the way to where the train cars are. Grab them and leave. You do not want to turn and face front, like forward in this train car, guys. You do not want to do that. You want to make sure that your back is toward the facility. I don't know what it is about this game, but if your back is toward the facility, you will not die in this trolley when you pick up the train cars. If you're facing forward in the trolley, right, meaning you can see the facility coming up in your view, you will die. They will shoot you. The people on the bridge will shoot the front of the trolley and kill your character. So notice what I do here. I'm just going to back up. I think it's, I can't remember if it's R2 or L2. It's been a few weeks since I've played, but you just don't want to hit X because X is what turns you around in the trolley. Now I'm just backing this sucker up, right? And of course, I'm going to time lapse this a little bit for you guys to make it quicker. But because we've already pulled the switch, right? We've already switched the tracks. We're just backing this sucker up. Eventually you will hear it hitch, right? Just like we did in the first playthrough. As soon as you hear it hitch, go forward and you'll be good to go. And they will not kill you. It's a really cool trick. It saves you from having to kill everybody in this facility to be able to get these cars out. I think I stopped there because I was hitting that barrier. Yeah, you'll hit a barrier before you get to the facility, but the next time you stop will be you hitching up to your train cars. And there it is, guys. Just drive the train right out of there. No need to kill all the enemies. This is a really good skip. I was happy to find that when I was testing things because I was like, man, it's going to suck if we got to go through that facility and kill everybody because the stealth in this game, I mean, it works, but the enemy movements sometimes are real sporadic. And I was like, man, how am I going to get all the players out there through this stealth sequence if they're not on the same pattern, right? So finding that skip was really good. Now, what I normally do here is I come in here and I talk to Miller for a few seconds and then I just bolt. I don't even know if you have to talk to him here to spawn in the next sequence, but I like to do it. Just go in there, listen to a few sentences from him, and you'll notice that as you're walking away, he'll continue to talk, and there'll be some plans being laid out for you. So I think that's all you have to do to kind of initiate it, but it may be where you can just hop out of your trolley and just start running over here, and it'll just happen automatically. But I like to go in there and make sure that it's marked on my map. You can see in the top left there, the exclamation sign. It lets you know that you have a new marker on your map, a new white circle with the white X in the center of it. So that's what I like to do. Just go in there and talk to him for a few seconds and then bolt. Now, again, we're going back over here toward the crane. We're not actually going to go to the crane, although I think the game wants you to go up there. I've never went up there before. The dialogue leads me to think that it wants you to be on the crane with Anna, but I never go up there. I always take the lower path. And I'll show you guys a really cool way to get through this next combat sequence. Because this one's pretty dicey, but I'm going to show you guys a spot where it's really hard for the enemies to hurt you. I think I'm right now in the gameplay, I'm having a hard time sprinting because I'm out of, yeah, okay, I was out of breath. I was like, why am I turning around looking at those enemies? Just checking them out like this is a zoo or something. See that right there? That's where we're going. That's the crane. Giving you guys a frame of reference there. I like to go down the lower tunnel here. This is a dominant position. I think I'll pick up some chemicals down here first. You might want to put your mask on. I think I do that. I should have done that. Yeah, there we go. Put your mask on. Pick up some free chemicals while you're down here. Yeah, we've got this sequence and then we got to take the bridge. And then if you guys remember, in terms of karma, I've only killed 3 people in that surrender state. The game has only flashed that like you know, I guess it's like a gold color or whatever, 3 times for me. Okay. I don't even know if you have to do it 3 times. It may only be once or twice where you have to get some bad karma. I've always tested it with 3. And like I said, if you guys weren't lucky enough to get the screen to flash 3 times like that in that first combat situation there at the church, you can make it happen in this next sequence. I think this is a good example for you guys, because I remember telling you in the commentary earlier that sometimes in these combat sequences, even though you're killing people, they will eventually just all die. They won't ever surrender. Like, you'll just literally have to kill all of them. That happens in this sequence. I remember on my practice playthrough, when this sequence happened, like 4 of them surrendered, right? So what'll happen here for you guys is, ideally you want these people to surrender. Anybody who surrenders, shoot them or kill them, you know, knife them, right? That's going to give you guys even more bad karma, right? Now, like I said, in this gameplay, I think I only got 3 bad karma points in the previous combat encounter there at the church. And I know I don't get any in this combat situation, but I can't remember if I get any while we're trying to take the bridge. We'll look, because I'm trying to count them up for you guys to make sure that you can get that many karma points in your game, negative karma points. Remember, you just want the screen to flash that gold color, that greenish gold color, right? And that lets you know that you guys have bad karma. Good karma, remember, in the first playthrough was the little whisper sound with the drum beat or whatever. It's very light in the gameplay. That lets you guys know that you had good karma. Right there, I'm pointing to the stairs, because sometimes an enemy will come down these stairs and you'll have to shoot them. Other than that, you're pretty safe over here. I've never been killed over here before. I don't even know if I've ever been shot over here before, because the way that this is laid out, you've got a teammate down there where I'm shooting that enemy now, to the right, or I guess would have been in front of that enemy who died. You've got a teammate in that hallway where you just were, and they're basically looking at him, right? And then I think Anna's somewhere up on the crane. At least I've never been up there, but I think that's where she is. So I think she's holding everybody else down from that angle, and nobody expects you to be over here at all. And that's what makes it such a power play position. Now what I was doing here is I was waiting on them to surrender, right? Because it'll happen. You'll hear your teammates say, we've done it or whatever, they're surrendering, blah, 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 something to that effect. And the music will of course die down. And that's what I was waiting on here, but it never happened. I ended up having to kill everybody, and never got any bad karma here that I know of. So you guys will have to take account of that when you play through. Again, I've already gotten 3 negative karma points, and I don't know if I get any more, although I will show you where you can get some more. So I guess to lay it out really simple for you guys, there's 3 combat sequences where you can pick up bad karma in this chapter. Well, let me take that back. There's more places that you can get bad karma. There's of course the slaves in this, the prisoners, right, that you can kill, but we didn't worry about that because we're trying to streamline the playthrough. There's 3 combat situations. The first one's at the church, where I killed those 3 guys who were surrendering. There's this one, and then there's the bridge we're going to next. So between those 3 combat sequences, you want to get 3 enemies to surrender and shoot them. That's as simple as it gets. And like I said, it may only be where you guys need to shoot them twice or even once. I've just always tested it with 3. So that's what you want to strive for in your gameplay. There's some fishermen on the bridge. I'll show you that when we get there, that you guys can also shoot. And they actually count for bad karma as well. I don't know if I shoot them in this gameplay, but I'll point them out to you. The main thing is you just want to jump onto the train at the end by yourself, and Duke should get shot. If Duke gets shot, then you've done it right. I'm just showing you here that I'm kind of having to improvise at this point, because in my practice playthrough by now, they had all surrendered. So I'm like, I don't really know how to play this thing out, but we'll figure it out live for you guys. So this was my first attempt, so I'm just figuring out where to go after the fact, right? In my practice playthrough, I just stayed over there underneath the steps the whole time, eventually surrendered. So this is me actually improvising, learning some new angles and where the enemies might be. So that's kind of good for you guys to watch, in case they don't surrender for you guys either, right? You'll know exactly where to go. Looks like there's always going to be somebody over here. At least this is a good angle to get. Now you're looking back, kind of in the opposite direction at the ships. You got plenty of cover over here behind this column. Like right now I've got cover on my right. And then if I back up, I have cover to my left if I want to shoot the enemies that are on the back of this ship, right? Again, I'm just moving up column by column, checking my angles, listening, because I think, and like I said, I can't hear audio now because I can't do commentary with the audio on, but I'm pretty sure that right now in the gameplay, I was being very cautious here because I kept hearing people who were alive. I think that's what I was hearing. So I'm moving up cautiously. I don't know if I killed this guy, so I'm trying to peek out around this corner. Because you can die really quick in this range of hardcore, guys. 2 hits and you're dead, so you do have to be careful. Make sure that the enemies are dead before you guys push up. And I think now I'm just going to go through and loot. Remember, if anybody's in a surrendered state right now, shoot them, kill them. But just make sure you guys loot all these bodies, get these resources, and you'll be good to go. And I think I'm going to skip over some stuff here. There's another leg twitching. He's headbanging. I had to show that, man. This game is pretty buggy like that. And then once you've looted everybody, done everything, guys, you come up here and take the trader's ship. All right, guys, and now it's time to take the bridge. The bridge is divided into 2 sequences, okay? The first one's going to be before the elevator. The second sequence is after the elevator. That is 2 distinct opportunities for you guys to get more negative karma. Remember, we are basing this around you guys getting that gold flash that happens on the screen. We want you guys to get that 3 times in this chapter. Like I said, you may only have to get it twice or once in order to get the bad ending to this chapter, but because I did it 3 times, I want you guys to try to get it 3 times as well. I'm just sticking to the right hand side of the bridge for now because I've already got my 3 negative karma points. But if you guys don't, then fire your guns, start killing some enemies. Remember, you want to kill them slowly because you want to give them time to surrender. Okay, once they get into that surrender state, shoot them. You'll see that flash on the screen, and that'll qualify you guys for some negative karma. But because I already have my negative karma, I'm just going through here as streamlined as possible just to get through. The elevator is going to be up here on the left. So this is your opportunity right here to get some negative karma, guys, if you still need some. Once you take this elevator up, that sequence is over, okay? So make sure that you take advantage of that, right? And here's the next sequence. See the fishermen in front of me? They're all lined up. They got the like the rain gear on or whatever. You guys can shoot them and you will see the flash happen on the screen, okay? So if you still need to get some negative karma, you can shoot those guys. And then of course you can go through here, kill these enemies until they start surrendering and get you some negative karma here as well. But hopefully you guys were able to get it back at the church. That's really the prime time to get it. That sequence is fairly easy and you have such a PowerPoint position when it comes to being up on top of that church on that platform. I mean, there are some PowerPoint positions in here too. Trust me, I found them. But I said, you know what, if I can build the guide to where we can have our negative karma before this sequence, we're good to go. So ideally, you want to get 3 people to surrender in the church, even if you have to restart your checkpoint a bunch of times. Trust me, it just makes things a lot easier to know that, you know, once I get past the church, I'm good. All I gotta do is just finish the chapter, no matter how it plays out, and I'm good to go. Notice that I'm just waiting on this guy. A lot of times if you come around this corner, it looks like the coast is clear, right? Oh, I've got the stairs, I just climb and I'm out of here. But that wood that's in front of me blocks you from being able to see that one enemy. So I like to wait until that enemy breaks to the right and then sneak up behind him and kill him. Because remember, we picked up a collectible in this room. It's on the right. We got that in our first playthrough. There he is. See how he's going to the right? Come up here and kill that fool. Take him out. And for whatever reason, guys, I don't know, maybe there's a trap up here, but in my practice, I stood up and kind of walked to the left, and I don't know, I don't see a trap in here. But anyway, I stood up and was walking through here and I blew up. Something blew me up. So stay crouched when you go through there. I don't see a trap. Maybe they saw me, I don't know, but every time I tried to go through there standing up, I got killed. So just stay crouched. Notice right here, I'm not worried about any of these fools. Now remember, if you need negative karma, you want to start a riot in here and then try to get some people to surrender. But after that, guys, you're done. Go through the door. There'll be a cutscene here. Now at this point, you're going to know whether you've done it correctly. Okay, there's going to be a different set of dialogue here than the first playthrough. And instead of you and Duke jumping off this platform and diving onto the train, you will be the only one that dives off. Duke will get shot. If that does not happen, guys, you got to go back to the beginning of this chapter and play through it again, okay, which is going to suck. So I highly encourage you guys to take your time, get more than 3 surrender kills if you want to, just to ensure that you have enough negative karma points. But you saw in this gameplay, I just killed everybody I come in contact with. I got 3 people down in a surrender state, shot them in a surrender state, and that was enough for me to get this ending. So you guys will have to take that into consideration when you're playing your game, but that worked for me. That worked in my practice playthrough as well. Notice right there, boom, he got shot. And that's going to wrap up this episode, guys. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. Again, I apologize for these videos not coming out a little bit earlier, but technology, man, trying to render all this stuff with my little crappy computer. Hey, I can only do so much, but they're coming up now. They're posting on the channel, so hopefully you guys are enjoying it, and I'll see you in the next one. Be good.